yourself down to the download. Well, that Len guy there is pretty good, Lester Mora, but you know, I think that he'd be nothing without Nora. If I was at Podcast Alley, sitting on a picket fence, I would only have one decision, to find some common sense, because I listen to Nora and Len. Yeah, I listen to them now and again. Nora and Len, I'm gonna tell you again. Lenny, he went out of town. Well, who held the whole fort down? Well, we're talking about Nora. Len popped airborne and still got sick, but you know that night's podcast sounded pretty slick because of Nora. Entrepreneurial nature, doesn't read the local paper, doesn't like sushi or slimy meat. Her podcast pointers are a verbal treat, yeah. Talk about Jawbone, you know. Late at night in the Nabi Annex, whipping up a dose of verbal Xanax, Len and Nora. Uploading the Jawbone podcast, get you a connection that's broadband fast, you know. She admits she's not ultra techno-wise, her verbal skills are quite a prize, and you can take that info to the store. Cause we're talking about Nora and Len. I listen to them now and then. Nora and Len, I'm gonna tell you again. Now listen, so if you're sick of radio and feel the need, you gotta get yourself a free thinking RSS feed. Stick that stuff in your iPod in a big fat hurry, cause we don't wanna hear no Adam Curry. I don't know why, but I'm against them. Well, you know you're quite inspiring. I could probably write you a love song, but your husband's so cool and I'm your friend, so I'm just gonna sit right down in my computer, listen to Nora and Len. Yeah, I listen to them every now and then. Nora and Len, I'm never gonna tell you again. Well, maybe I will, just Nora, you know, give those podcast tips and tell us all about them chimps ripping your face off. No, I don't want to classify you like an animal in the zoo, but it seems to you and me that you're a homo sapien.
All right, getting ready to do the show here, show number 308.
Getting ready to get ready.
Getting ready to get ready. You're right. When going a little bit earlier tonight, just because, well, we'll probably talk about why. Just, you know, it's just got Nora's.
I don't know why.
Well, I'll make something up.
Okay.
Got Nora over there. She's on camera. That's the Nora cam. And we're going to be recording a brand new episode. It was, you know, it really, well, once again, don't want to do the show before the show. So a couple things we need to know. Show 308. And then I think we'll talk about busy May, and then also the Tear show, which I think we'll bring it up and kind of explain what the next phase of the show is going to be, which might be special guests, stuff like that. Special guests within the home. So KT Data says no more schmacko schmel tonight. No? Yes?
Or any night, really.
So I just, you know, KT Data, otherwise known as Kevin. He is our moderator, and he usually pops into the chat and helps us run the show from the background. So just want to let you know. Oh, you know what? You can't see that. So hang on one second. I'm gonna get it so you can see the chat. Or unless you want to say watch with other people, just hit that on the iPad right there. You know where do you see where it says that? Here, I'll help you. Hang on one second.
Oh, okay.
So now you can see. Yes.
That was an inauspicious beginning.
No, it doesn't matter. But yeah, just so you know, you might see KT Data in the chat room. That he's sort of a mod, keeping track of people in the room, so that if we ever get anybody kind of crazy or mad or upset, we don't, do that. All right. So I got to remember how to do all this stuff. So hang on one second. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me put this on pause. I'll go back to me on the pre-show. Put this on pause. There we go. I don't think there's much changing there. Oh, that's what I want to do. All right. Oh, wait a second. Hang on. Let me fix your. I just fix your shot here, Nora, so that you are more in frame. Sorry.
Oh, maybe I should.
In the chat room, Kepper67, who says he's more of a lurker than a chatter, but Michael, otherwise known as Kepper67, has been very, 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 very supportive of the show. So thank you so much. All right.
I do see the chat when we're in the room.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could see it. I don't usually type back, but mostly because I'm not sure if I press that button,
if something will go wrong or not.
So
nothing will go wrong. If anything goes wrong, it'll
famous
be on my
last words.
It'll be on my end. So I'm gonna clear this up a little bit. All right. Show 307. In 3.
Wait, I thought we did 308
Oh,
last
308.
week.
Yes, you're right.
No, I thought 308 was last week.
No, is it?
I don't know. I sort of remember saying that.
Let me check.
Wait.
Hang on a second. Give me a sec. I will find out what number show this is.
Now I feel like the microphone's too low.
Okay, the show we're doing tonight, Nora, is 308. Are you okay?
I don't know. I guess.
All right. 308 in 3, 2.
You're listening to Jawbone Radio. This is episode 308.
I take it this is open lines?
Yeah, everybody's listening, so say whatever you want to say.
Okay, well, I was wondering if you'd like to buy some heroin from me.
Heroin. Gee, what is that anyway? Could you explain what it is? Because I'm from California. We don't know too much about that sort of thing. Well, let's take the next call.
Listen to me, and listen to me good, okay?
You're tuned in to Jawbone Radio.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
From the rolling hills of Cleveland, suburbia, broadcasting from the second floor of the brand new Dobby Annex 2.
Hello, Governor.
This is Jawbone.
Jawbone Radio, show number 308. This is May 13th, 2021. I am Len.
And I am Nora.
And Nora is
And together
here as well.
We are Jawbone Radio.
Together we are Jawbone Radio.
Together forever and never will we part. Remember, we got to kind of go
Yeah.
a little bit sideways.
Leading up the top of the show, we have little thing from our friends at WRSC.
Oh yeah.
Who we are big fans of, and love that. I love that clip. We have a bunch of other clips that are from the olden days, but is it hot in here? It's hot in here, a little bit stuffy, isn't it?
I'm all right.
Okay, I was gonna turn on a fan or something, but welcome to Jawbone Radio. Last week I said that hey, this isn't gonna become a regular thing, but I have so much fun recording the show that not only that, but I have a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun streaming the show and streaming just in general.
Did your voice just crack?
No, I don't know. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with my voice. I think because I did not use my voice a whole lot today, that it sounds like, and I've done all this stuff with my mic to make me sound a lot more, modulated and strong.
My name is Len Peralta,
and I sound absolutely terrible. It was
rude. I really shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's all right, because I thought to myself, man, my voice sounds really bad. But anyhow, I am.
It doesn't really bad.
It sounds really bad. It does sound bad.
It's a fuzz on me.
No, I get so excited about streaming. I just wanted to do it. So here's another thing too. This is brand new for people who may have missed the big news about this Twitch channel. Is well, you and I, Nora, I guess we are affiliates. We are affiliate status on Twitch, which means that we can take subscriptions.
Okay.
Which, if you like the content on this channel, which Jawbone Radio is part, you can sub, and we make a little bit of money off that. A little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit. We got a couple subs.
Nice.
You if you are a Prime member at Amazon, we actually make a little bit more money. So there's something to be thinking about. So think about it. If you enjoy this content, if you enjoy my art content, then by all means, please subscribe.
Did you know that I briefly had a job selling subscriptions many, many years ago?
To what?
To hapless, unsuspecting individuals over the phone in my short-lived career as a telemarketer.
What? Wait, were you selling magazine subscriptions or what?
I was.
To what?
What can I interest you in, sir? We have a variety of pretty much anything you could think of. Do you have a lot of hobbies?
I don't have a whole lot of hobbies, but I'll tell
you.
We
have a magazine about people who have no hobbies. It's called Hobby Free.
I'm excited about celebrities.
Celebrities. Who isn't? Actually, we might have sold some more magazines if the patter had been a little bit zippy, but they scripted everything, including the any awkward pauses. There were certain things you had to ask. This is a long time ago. This is, well before Twitch. If you can think back that far.
I am very interested in, let's say, People Magazine. Do you have People Magazine in this subscription?
Do we ever?
Yeah.
I mean, they had, I don't know who the real company was. Like, obviously, a lot of those magazines are all interrelated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you called people blindly off of this list. And then, I don't know. I mean, it was not a big deal. I don't even know how I ended up working there. I needed a job. They were real squirrely about what it is that you did.
Was this in like high school or college? I think I would know if it was college.
No, it was even before you.
Oh, so that's a long time.
It was a long time ago. I can't remember. I mean, I was definitely in high school or later, but I mean, I think I was in high school, and I got a job. It may have been the first job I got, and I remember having a great deal of shame because,
why would you?
Well, there was so much to hate. It was like a. Well, first of all, and this is always, and this has happened before. It only happened to me once, but other people I know have gone down here's a little warning sign. if you are looking to make some money, especially if you're kind of young, because most people who are professional people are not just randomly going through, I just want any old job. Like they usually have a pretty specific, but if you're looking to make a job, to get a job and you find an opportunity, but they're real unclear about what it is, you should not have to go to the interview. You should not have to go to 4 interviews. I didn't get too many interviews, but I remember when I applied for the job, they made it sound enjoyable and just that you would use a lot of communication skills and you had to have, but it was a complete surprise to me that it was telemarketing. And I think they didn't even really tell me that in the interview. I don't remember that much about the interview. Here's another little, it was in kind of a mysterious building that had completely tinted windows. It's like a 1-story building. It's like a little cinder block building. It had no name on it, no sign on it. I still know where the building is. It was, I think, the very first job I had, and I lasted 2 shifts, and then I left, and I felt horribly ashamed of myself. It was a great experience. But
that's great.
Millions of magazines, and I'm pretty sure it was magazines. But boy, you really had to sell a lot. And I don't just mean like, you have to make a lot of sales tonight. I mean, you had to sell multiple subscriptions to the one person you called. Hey, how about 8 magazines, ma'am? How about 10? I mean, it was crazy.
And what did they, I mean, they got magazines, right? But did they get anything else? Did they get like a tote bag or anything what was their incentive?
I'm pretty sure it was magazines, but they were pretty heavy duty. Like, we've got a great 5-year subscription, like long subscription, prepaid things, and it was really hard to shake the person off it was terrible. First of all, I'm the worst candidate. It must have been a terrible screening process to hire me, because I hate persisting in like social situations.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want me around, I'm happy to leave. Like, I mean,
you're not telemarketer material. That's what you're saying.
Well, first they don't really tell you what you're doing.
That's
and by
good.
the time
That's a good
right,
point,
so
yeah.
I went with someone years and years later to their interview at an equally mysterious place, and I knew when I pulled up, I thought they're going to make you sell. It's cold call selling. I'm telling you right now, and
I would not peg you.
Oh my gosh.
As someone who would be good at.
I would just as soon
telemarketing sales. Yeah.
Eat a bucket full of whatever, Buckeyes or whatever. Then no, it was just, so I got the job like kind of quickly. They probably had a real high turnover, so I'm sure, whatever. But I also remember that when they went over the rules, it was like, you use this list, you call this. It was very like, this was not a group that wanted you to change anything.
Right.
Okay, fine. There were some kind of dicey things that I won't get into, but I was a little shocked to hear.
What do you mean?
Because you had to collect money. I don't even want to get into it, but I remember as a very young person thinking that sounds kind of dodgy. So that was kind of like dodgy financial practices, and there was some dodgy business. I'm not going to lie to you, which made me feel kind of weird.
How did you even get like hooked up with something like that?
It was just a newspaper ad. I was a kid. The want ads had really nice.
And they didn't
it didn't. That's another thing. They don't tell you. They never do.
They never do. I mean, you probably looked very young. So
I was young, but I was a teen. I was old enough to have a job. I might have been in college, but I'm pretty sure that I was in high school, like later in high school. And when I went in and I got trained, and then it was a bank of people, like maybe 24 people in a room, a very harried looking manager woman who never cracked a smile and sat like behind some glass, telephone, my script. I was super apologetic. Everything about my manner was exactly what you wouldn't want if you were selling somebody.
Well, now let me ask you something. Was there somebody monitoring you?
Oh, heck yes, there was.
Okay.
First of all, at any point in time, they could listen in, and you knew that, or they said they could. I mean, how would I know? I was a kid and whatever. But the other thing was, anytime that's why I always laugh on shows when they show people like in that situation, and then, like salesmen, and they make a mark on the board. That's exactly what it's like. Once you made a sale, you were supposed to whatever. It was so dumb. And plus, I also, by the way, I'm not like that either.
Was the
oh
guy?
my God, I'm like goody. That's just not me. And so you were supposed to like make a big deal about everything.
Yeah. So if you made a sale, you had to like.
Yeah, you had to like ring a bell or
yeah.
it's just so. I mean, I would. It's like I would. I might make a sale
you should incorporate some of that into your life these days. Like, if somebody does dishes around the house or something.
I'm a born cheerleader, is what I am. I know my mom was a big cheerleader. I'm a big cheerleader.
Can't think of
That's
anything.
kind of my lot in life. Oh wow, so. But I remember I got in trouble because I hated it. It was completely wrong. I knew it wasn't going to last. I had a real sick feeling in my stomach. I did not like some of the things you had to say in some of the policies about handling people.
Do you remember any of them? What were some of the things you had to say?
I don't want to say. But it was not good.
Give me. You don't have to say exactly, but give me.
You could terminate phone calls of people. Which wasn't such a terrible thing, but you could take information and pretend. It just.
No.
Okay.
You had to,
it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
That's why you only lasted a day.
Okay. Well, I knew I didn't like it. It was really young. I was used to doing well at things, but I really didn't like this. And then, like, I did not make that many sales. So,
do you remember how many you made?
I don't remember, but I think I might have gone in twice. Like the first time I went, I was horrified.
Was the guy?
I hated it.
Was the guy who was behind you? Was he like a gum snapping dude who was?
It was a woman, and she was.
Okay.
There was some whippersnapper there who was making a lot of sales, or allegedly was. And then I was a little bit like a deer in the headlights initially, but as I started learning, it was so awkward. They were like, ask about the weather. I'll never forget that. Ask about the weather. Yeah.
Why?
Because you would say, can I talk, hi, Kelly Sue or whatever. It's Carrie Sue. Carrie Sue. Yeah. I was wondering
What's
if
it
you
like
like whatever.
there out
And
in
then they
Maryland?
would say, like when they would have to go get their purse or their checkbook, or then they'd be on you're supposed to say, so what's the weather like there? It was so cheesy and dumb.
Wait, so you were calling people over the country?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not like you were calling locally.
No, it was all over the place. It was totally cold calling.
Wow.
You're selling magazines over the phone. That's kind of a long time ago, all right? And then, I remember at one point when I knew it really wasn't for me because I didn't like it and it was nerve wracking and I didn't like calling strangers to sell them things. I mean, I wouldn't mind to call a friend to sell them something now, but a stranger, that was awful. But then at one point it was terrible. I just didn't want to do it. And then the woman, my manager, said, and how are you doing today or tonight or whatever? And when one of those forced like sales people and how are pump up the team.
Right.
And I said, well, okay, I guess. And I got called into the office. And she was saying, so I was talking to you out there, and so what did you tell me? I said I was doing okay, I guess. We really need more positivity out of you. I said, I thought you were asking me how I was doing. I didn't realize that it was. So I got in trouble for being neutral, which was a stretch because I wanted to throw up. And then I was just like, I can't do this anymore, and I left. And I see that building, and I think about the fact that if you have to find out. If it takes a real long time to find out what the job is, they're going to make you sell magazines over the phone. I mean, that's just what's going to. Like I said, and years later when I drove whoever it was, and I can't remember who it was. It wasn't. It might have been one of our kids, but I don't remember. And I thought, no, it's sales. It's sales.
Mm-hmm,
I know
right.
It's sales. And they were sort of like, well, they said that, and then it turned out.
Was that the worst job you ever had?
It's probably the one I hated the most. I mean, I suppose you could have made good money and it wasn't just digging ditches, but I think I would have rather dug a ditch.
Yeah. Well,
although I wouldn't have been very good at it.
I think my worst job was working at a bookstore, a college bookstore, and I spent 8 hours a day taking used stickers off of books with a razor blade. And I remember I was coming down with a sickness. I was coming down with mono. I was sick for 2 weeks after I left that job. and one of the people on the job was named Homer Sexton.
Ooh, he could be listening. He's in the chat room right now.
Which I remember Homer Sexton was because Homer Simpson, The Simpsons, was a big deal, and that's why I remember that. And it was a terrible job, terrible job. But I can't think of anybody less suited to be selling magazine subscriptions than you.
No, I would be terrible. Years and years later, a parent of a friend of mine asked me to do some sales from home. They were phone sales, and I didn't do a very good job with that either. I see somebody I recognize in the chat room.
Oh yeah, I see him too.
And I was thinking about, so here we are. I haven't really had to do the whole like look for a job thing for a long time, but it is it is like a really fun experience though. I know a lot of people are going through that in the last year or so. It's a lot of fun, kind of keeps everybody happy and
sure, right.
But there is somebody that was telling me that he had looked for jobs, and it was just to be out of work for a long period of time is like a really great situation. But he mentioned that when he had you use digital means to send your resume out now, right? And then eventually whoever's reading it could be a person, probably a robot or some algorithm or whatever, and then but at some point he had gotten like some kind of feedback on one of the jobs, and then they told him that he had to do so he had like an initial screening, and then he had to do a robot interview. I don't know what they call it, like an AI interview.
Yeah, it's like on that show we watched, Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, and they were, apparently it was kind of a technical job, and they wanted he'd have to answer the questions in real time while they recorded his answer. I don't know. I mean, it's just...
You have 5 seconds.
It's hard enough to look for a job, to keep your energy up, and now you got to get through the robots. It's like being stuck in some kind of a Kafka-esque, video
Blade
game,
Runner.
like a really boring, horrible video game you can't stop playing, and you're stuck on some level you can't get out of.
That's what it is. There are some people in the chat room who are asking some questions about a hotline. We do not have a hotline that you can call in here immediately, so we can bring you in. Maybe eventually we will, but for right now, if you want to leave us a message, we may end up playing it on a future show. That number is 216-235-4335. I think it's 216-236 Geek, the Geek line. So I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to check that number. I'm not really sure if it's right or not, but I think it's close. Do it.
If it's not us,
216.
Leave a voicemail. See if you'll buy a subscription.
It might be 235 Geek. 216-236. I don't know. I'll remember it. But I'll tell you what. I'll text it to you. Everybody who's in the chat room. I'll text it to you separately, and you can get it there. Gosh, I just have to say, this month I am having I don't know about you, Nora, but I am having a really hard time keeping track of everything that I need to do, or you need to do, that we both need to do collectively, because there's a ton of stuff happening in the next couple weeks. Thank you so much, KT Data 216-236 Geek. Thank you so much. See, this is why we have KT Data in the chat room.
We have an army of helpers. Some real, some robots.
We did not have this before, so thank you. So shout out to KT Data, who is our mod in the chat room at Twitch. Thank you so much. Also, I want to mention before I go on about my total lapse in memory, a big thanks to Kepper67, who just cheered us with some bits. So thank you so much. You can do that too. You can cheer us during the show. You can also tip us at twitch.tv/Len Peralta or sub.
Do they have a digital tomato you can pelt somebody with?
No, however,
they sell digital tomatoes.
The more we get people watching the show, the more we could have different emotes. So a tomato could definitely be something that is there. We have a couple emotes there right now, and I guess if I had some time, I would create them. However, it's been, I mean, I literally day to day, I don't know what I'm doing.
I have kind of a troubling note related to bring up. At times, not this week, but often I find myself crippled with the worries of my day's,
Yeah, right.
business, so to
Same with
speak.
here.
And, this, by the way, is not going to launch into a bit. Like, and the way I like to relax is
It's the real thing, right?
chow down on a Drake's fruit pie, right?
Oh, that's a throwback. There you go.
Makes me want to, no. So it's not a bit. I was just going to say, often I'll find myself preoccupied by stuff, right? I mean, you come home or you're lying in bed and then, concerned. Maybe you can't sleep, or maybe you can't really enjoy that hilarious, I don't know,
TV show.
police procedural or whatever.
Murder mystery.
Because there's something in the back of your voice. Or when you wake up in the morning and you start rattling off, oh yeah, I got to get that. This one happened, and that didn't call this person back, and oh, that email didn't do, and oh my gosh, today's the deadline. What do you mean it's the end of the quarter? Whatever.
Right.
So that's kind of like, not everything is terrible all the time, but I mean, one has these like little nagging taps at one's shoulders, or possibly like giant lead weights,
Oh,
So
God.
normally I'm kind of used to like, well, you do certain things and then at some point you decide, okay, that's the end of it. I'm going to kind of take a break for the day. Other times it just kind of weighs heavily on one until you take care of things. Okay, so I probably shouldn't say this because somebody's going to be like, oh, that's a sign of...
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
This is not a bit, by the way.
No, it's not a bit. It's like the worst bit ever. But if you sign up for my new... No,
Oh, jeez.
No, I just... Not several times recently, I have found myself with my mind wandering. And when I've kind of come back to myself, I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Oh, that's great. That's
like
great.
nothing. Like, I mean, where I'll be thinking, yeah, there was something I was supposed to be
that's
concerned about, but
yeah.
I don't know what it was.
That's an
I got to
age
tell you, it's okay. I'm pretty good with that because it's sort of biased. I mean, luckily I haven't like actually completely dropped the ball on some that I know of big terrible thing. But usually it's more like, oh my gosh, yes, I thought it was the. I've had plenty of like kooky things, but there have been a number of times recently where. And I mean like in the last couple of weeks where I'll just feel totally absolved of any real concern. But, I think with the age part, I don't know if it's age. It could be. But I think the age part now is like, maybe I just don't care as much as I,
No, I think I'm finding to be an issue as well. And I hate thinking about this because, people say, oh, you're on the back nine. Right? Like that's how they describe where we are in life. Like, the back nine.
The back nine.
I don't know how many 100-year-old Asian artists there are. Maybe there are. I don't know. Possibly. But yeah, they always call it the fragile 50s or the back nine. But I am finding that is becoming a real issue. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, I know I have something to do. It's a good thing I write things down because I always like today, for example, I almost forgot that I had a huge project, where I had to be live connected with an event and draw for 4 hours. It was, I was like, oh, I really almost forgot, or I was like rushing to get things done, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So, because I'm already thinking down the road to like what else we need to do this week because. Look, we have a kid graduating tomorrow. We have another kid graduating in 2 weeks. We have a bunch of little, like just little things that are kind of popping up here and there. And, plus along with just the regular stuff with work and everything else. And it's kind of overwhelming. I hope it's not a sign that something that our minds are going. How funny will this show be if we'll end up telling the same stories over and over again? It'll be great. It'll be just a fantastic. I think we've already done that many times on this show, just telling this story over and over again.
Hi, I'm Nora. I'll be hosting.
Hey, did you ever sell magazine subscriptions at all?
Not many. So, well, actually, I was sort of thinking about it the other day. This kind of spotty kind of, whoa, where am I? What am I doing? Like a little bit of a lack of focus. It definitely is not, it's not all the time, but I took a little comfort in knowing that I do remember feeling this way last May in particular.
Like during,
well, because it was the lockdown and it was the end of a school year and yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
It's always, under any circumstances, like a super packed month with just a lot of things. And I remember feeling like mentally kind of like blown out of the water.
Yeah.
And it's not like I couldn't function, but more like I just don't have like any room to take on any more facts or figures. and every day kind of seemed like, what day is it? Where am I? What am I doing? I had no clue. It's a little different this time. I don't always feel like that, but I was thinking the other day, like, wow, you're kind of like drifting around. And then part of me was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, okay,
Well, one of the reasons,
probably fine though.
You're we're both totally fine.
You're going to be really a lot more difficult when you go crazy.
Who, me?
Oh yeah.
I think I already am crazy.
Well, you're kind of crazy, but I mean, like if you ever, and it's not probably going to happen, but if you sort of take a step sideways into like your dotage, so shall we say, I think that will be a little bit more. I could be wrong, but I think you would be a little bit more work to pilot around.
Well, it's a good thing we have 2 daughters.
Wow, they're gonna love hearing that.
No, because the girls are always the ones that end up like taking up the slack.
Well, no. I just think like because you're very organized and schedule oriented, I think that you're likely to continue that characteristic. But if you aren't, like if the things you want to do or whatever, like I just think you're going to be more concerned about what you should be doing when and what time and how we have to do things. And if you're all mixed up about it, I see you being kind of insistent about doing things. I, on the other hand, bring an awful lot of aimless laziness to the equation and might be just fine being, being shown to some sort of a lounge for hours. I might be okay.
I don't
in
even,
the library.
You know what?
Okay.
I don't even want to think about this.
What?
Because just about that time, the twilight years. I don't want to think about that. Not yet. We're not there.
Although I do find that you bring it up a lot.
Yeah, I do.
And it's sort of like, oh, for real?
I don't know.
Give me a break. It's like a thing you do all the time. And I'm like, why do you... I don't really care. I'm not that sensitive about it. But I find it's kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. So one of the things I'd like to do with the show is kind of bring a new dimension to it. One of the things I'd like to do is, because you and I are on the back nine, right? We are going to try to do.
That's really great, by the way. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do bring some other people onto the show, and just because sometimes it doesn't always work for you to record.
I thought it was mostly because I was too old to be on the show,
no,
despite being younger than you.
That's not it at all.
You might want to rephrase that whole thing.
No, I feel
in
like
our ancient elderly age, you need to have some young whippersnappers come in. Sure.
Well, one of the things that I'd like to do is bring on our youngest daughter.
Actually, I would say that's more like a throwback, since we used to have shows with the kids.
We did. We used to have them. However, they were very, very small.
And now that they're on the back nine or whatever, right?
They're not on the back nine.
Oh, okay.
Some of the some of the kids are now old enough to sort of have their own thoughts, and they actually talk and stuff like that. And they also, so one of the things that I've done over the past couple years is tease my now teenage daughter, our teenage daughter, that she's going to have her own show, her own YouTube show, which is called Tear Tells It All. And it's just such a dumb thing because sort of poking fun at YouTubers and saying she's going to become a YouTuber. That sort of gets under her skin. So I believe possibly starting next week, I'm going to bring in Tear. And she's going to do a show, and I've set it up. Actually, it was supposed to be tonight, but I felt that I needed to set it up so that listeners or viewers of the show will know what the hell's going on when we switch to this. So I actually have spent some time creating a little theme song and a little thing for her, and this is what it is. So that's her. That is Tear Tells It All. As we move forward on the show, I think next week Tear will be on the show, and she'll be doing her first kind of Twitch show with her dad.
She's dangerous though, because I could see her actually getting a taste for that. She's very entertaining. She's high energy. I actually don't know what
she
speaks 4 languages fluently.
It's crazy. Right?
I mean, I'm assuming she does.
She also, I'm thinking of bringing my our son in. He's going to be a sophomore in college. Crispy, bring him in to talk about movies. I believe Max is also going to possibly be on, and of course our youngest son, who is really super excited, little Julian. Wants to talk about, I don't know what he wants to talk about. Actually,
probably dinosaurs.
I'm more scared. Yeah, I'm more scared about that than Kateri or anybody else.
Well, if you need to do any research into this topic, I might recommend one of a number of amazing new periodicals available through.
Can I put it in order today? Is that something?
Yeah, well, there's a Tear Weekly. It's a compendium to the actual Tear Tells It All. It gives you a nice static,
here's what
monthly, flavorless paper version to go along with your, exciting live digital interactive.
I think Tear might be in the other room. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap up the show here in just a few seconds. But for the Twitch stream, I may actually have her come in just to kind of test it out to see how it goes. So, maybe, possibly, we'll see how that goes. You had a story actually about Tear. You were texting me the other day, and I
don't remember what it was.
You don't remember what it was?
It related to what?
It was
because I don't want to steal her thunder.
It's your thunder.
Right.
It's you were texting me about having Tear help out her brother clean the room, and you typed me something, and then what ended up happening do you remember?
I don't
oh my gosh, are you serious? What happened?
I don't remember. I mean, I remember, but I don't want to get in trouble here.
Wow. Okay.
A lot has gone on this week.
You actually said you were going to talk about it on the show.
Yes, that's why I tend to do so.
It's such a small thing. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, so when you texted me,
that's pretty inauspicious.
You wrote her name wrong.
Oh, I do remember. Yes, this is kind of dumb, but so I wrote down that Kateri, did whatever it was, and it's really more of a phone story. But obviously, I text her name, on a regular basis, but autocorrect on my phone, on everybody's phone, is so infuriating. You know, a word that a proper name that I spell on a regular basis gets autocorrected. And so it said Kateg egg instead of Kateri.
Kateg egg.
Kateg. I can't even. So if you're going to autocorrect, why would you autocorrect it? Because, oh, right, Kateg egg. That seems. But then, like, other times I will type out, you know, I'll make a dumb mistake. So when I always make typos, which is so irritating to me. So I want a text string or something. I don't know. Anyway, I got a thing, and it was great. Like, somebody sent me something, and it was wonderful. So I wrote Grest. Right? Because Grest.
Grest.
Because, of course, autocorrect, you couldn't possibly correct Grest to great, right?
No, it's Grest.
But so stupid, obvious little finger slips of very common words, especially in texting, don't correct those. But boy, oh boy, don't ever use the word ill. If I type ill, it's always changed to the contraction for I will every time, which annoys me. And then people's names, like, under what circumstance, how would it ever turn out to be Kateg egg? It was just so aggravating.
Well, my thing is, I never realized how many times I write the word new, because every time I write the word new on my phone, it autocorrects it to NEE with a little
nay, right?
Nay. I don't even know what that is. What is it?
It means born. So, like, if you were, that's why you see it in funeral announcements. So it was, you know,
I have no idea.
Jane Smith, nay Wilkinson, telling you the maiden name. So the person used to be known by another name.
Why?
Right.
I never use that at all.
You're not usually doing. I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't understand that. So so Kateg egg. You know, for those on the Twitch stream, I'm gonna have her come up here and we'll do like a short little test run to see how that goes.
But then for a while, everything kept changing your name.
My name?
Yeah, your email.
Well, no, that was my fault because I would type. I'm just terrible typist. So Len would always be either Ken, Leb,
right.
Lep, Lem.
What about Keb?
Keb, Kleb.
Ooh.
It just Kleb, Clem. It was always, the big one was Ken. So I'd be writing this really important email to a client or something, and then I'd be like, hey, thanks a lot, Ken. Like, I would call myself Ken. Hey, yeah, like that's, you know, it would just, it's annoying. My phone does it all the time. I don't understand why, but there you go.
Well, that was great. We didn't actually name our daughter Kateg egg.
Well, we could have, yeah. Well, send Kateg egg up here in a little bit after we end the show. We're going to end it right now. That's going to do it for Jawbone Radio Show 308. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can write us. I believe I'm jawboneradio@gmail.com. Nora's email is nora.jawbone@gmail.com. You can go and check us out at jawboneradio.com. You can also
welcome a phone call if you'd like at 216-236-GEEK.
Geek. 216-236-GEEK is the Geek line. Leave a message and we can play your message on a later show. Unfortunately, we can't take calls on the show right now, but eventually maybe we will. Who knows?
Right.
It's the magic. If anything can happen. If you'd like to subscribe to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Len Peralta. Subscribing with Prime is the way to do it. We actually make a little bit more money. Or you can cheer us or whatever. We try to record every Thursday. I also record every Wednesday and Friday afternoons where I'll be doing my art streams, so check that out. But until then, we will see you on the next episode of Jawbone Radio, hopefully sometime next week, maybe with Kateg egg. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, go ahead.
Goodbye now, the clock says we're done. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.
Want to sing it one more time?
Goodbye now, the clock says we're done. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.
That was really good. Thank you.
Jawbone Radio. Voted the best podcast in Cleveland. Woot.
That's like one of my favorite. You know, it's so funny that Goodbye Now. It's so funny because that's our daughter Sienna, who is now 20.
Right.
And it's so funny because I still hear her voice inside that little tiny voice. So it's very funny.
I'm not sure if Matthew's still in the room. So
I don't know. Matt, if you're DJ Vinyl Mix, if you're in the room, make yourself known. We're gonna do well, I don't know. You need to make a call.
Yep.
Right. So when you go down,
send her up.
Just send Kateg Egg up.
Right. Bye.
And we'll work from that. In the meantime, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching us record. This show will be live, I believe, a little bit later tonight on the podcast feed. So if you're used to listening to us via your podcast, whatever, your aggregator, yeah, that's cool. You know, hopefully it doesn't take me that long to do. It's it's fun like that. So I'm gonna put some music on here in the background. There we go. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Let's see. Oh, it looks like who is in the chat? Let's check it out. Oh, look, it's I don't know who anybody is, but thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, it was a real long day today, and I felt like I needed to do something that wasn't just working. Have a seat.
Hello.
Okay, hang on a second. We gotta get you over here. We get your headphones on. Now you're gonna hear this is gonna be. Let me hang on a second. Let me just. All right, there's. Okay, wait a minute. We'll do kind of like only for the Twitch viewers. We'll do like a quick Tear tells it all. So hang on a second. I'm gonna do your little whatchamacallit here. Hang on. Oh yes, there's Tear, Kateg Egg.
Here I am.
Here you are. So we're doing like a dry run here. So
okay.
we're going out live. This is live on Twitch right now, but we aren't recording for the podcast. We'll do that next week. So
okay.
So what do you think? What do you? So your show is called Tear Tells It All.
Okay, listen. You named the show.
Yeah.
But it's a great name.
It is a great name. And I, so what exactly are you going to talk about on your show?
I guess they're going to have to find out.
You know what you got to do? This is what I would suggest is since we're not recording until next week, you write some stuff down. Write some ideas. So you can come to the table with some fresh ideas and be like, oh, you know what? Here's what I got to talk about. And then before you do that, you show it to me so I could be like, I can be like, I can be like your editor. Well, I just don't want you to get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be talking about a friend or something, I just want to make sure that you don't, hey, look, everybody in the chat room, they're yelling, woot, tear. It's... Here's the other great thing, Tear, is that I can just get you there you are. You're gonna see yourself show up.
Great name and great bumper. Thank you.
KT Data, he is the mod. He runs the chat room and helps me do stuff there in the background. That's great.
This is weird. I don't like seeing myself.
Okay, well we'll do the 2-camera setup. That way you can see both of us. How's that? So,
okay.
So just to kind of give the Twitch audience like an idea of what you think your show Because originally the show was like, I made it up, and you were a YouTuber, and you would go, "Hey guys."
Hey guys, it's me. Welcome back to my channel.
Right. Yeah. And then you talk about like makeup or something like that, or hair.
Yeah.
You'd be doing you're doing your makeup and hair.
100 layers of whatever.
Okay. Yeah. And so, but do you think that that's what you're gonna? You think that's what you're gonna be doing as your show?
No.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think you're going to be talking about? Let's give the audience like a little bit of a preview of what Tear Tear is going to be talking about. What are you going to be telling us about?
Anything and everything.
Oh.
You're gonna get so much.
Okay. I don't know.
And Dad's gonna be there too.
I'll be producing your show. Yeah, because we're just going to go in here, and I should actually come up with something special for you, so that when we do Tear Tear Tells It All, it's just
Is Christian gonna be doing something
I think so.
with you?
Yeah. Do you want to see the little thing again? I want to see your little.
Yeah.
By the way, that's not you. That's not you laughing in the background.
It isn't.
It was no, it isn't. Do you remember? Do you remember recording that?
No.
So yeah. So there we go.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So next week on Twitch and on the podcast, we're gonna do the first episode of Tear Tear Tells It All within Jawbone Radio. So I think that should be a lot of fun.
So it's just gonna be you and me, not that or Mom.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. So that's why you should. Wait, not calling her terror. Live captioning is not calling her terror. Is it call? Oh, it's calling you terror. Terror.
I'm
terror.
okay with that.
Terror.
I've gotten worse.
Well, the story behind Terror is that you had said a couple years ago.
Oh no! A couple
years ago, you said your friends called you Terror.
That's not true.
Yeah,
No.
You said your friends all called you Terror, which we knew wasn't true.
No.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
no,
right. It wasn't true.
It was not a cup. You're acting like this was yesterday. This
no,
is like,
no, it was a couple years ago.
When?
Like 4 years ago. Yeah, it was a while. It wasn't. You were young, and your friends called you Terror, which we knew wasn't
They
true.
did. They called me it once, and I thought it was funny, so I thought I would share it with the group, and then I get made fun of for the rest
Well, we
of
have
my
all
life.
kinds of funny stories. Kateg egg.
Kateg egg.
That's what your mom called you. So next week, Kateri or Terror will be a guest on the show, and hopefully after maybe after we record the show, you can talk to the people in Twitch and stuff. Now remember, guys, she's just a young kid. She's a child, a mere babe in the woods. So please be very kind to her, as
I could call my brothers.
What?
I'll call my brothers.
You call your brothers and they'll come rescue you. Which one do you think will rescue you?
PJ.
PJ will rescue you? Okay, well that's good.
Maxie.
Yeah. Well, they're all gonna come.
Probably not Julian.
No, he might. He
No.
might. Yeah, they'll
Absolutely
protect
not.
you.
He'd be the one in the background,
Hey,
like,
is
get her.
where's Cease the Beast? Is she downstairs or is she in the room?
No.
Where's she at?
I don't know.
I was gonna say we could,
She doesn't want to do it because her voice is weird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she has kind of a weird voice. Well, whatever.
I look so red.
Right. Why don't you play around with the lights there and see what you come up with? That's what moms did. You gotta turn off the main one first, so you're gonna go dark for a second. And then
Now what?
Now hit the power button. The other power button.
The other? Oh.
There's 2 power buttons. Turn on. There you go. So which color do you want to have? Blue looks pretty good. Mom looked good with blue. Try green. I like green. Do you like the green?
I don't like this one.
No, the red's no good. I like blue. Blue. I think is yours. I think that's a good color.
Mhm.
That's a cool. That's a tear color. I think. Nah. Do the blue.
Do you not like me with the normal?
No, I think the blue looks cool. I think it just looks neat.
Hold on.
Yeah. Well, we'll do this all. Hey, this is for KT Data in the chat room. Maybe this weekend, if you're around, I'd like to figure out how to do remote through OBS Ninja. So if you have some time this weekend, I don't want to cut into your weekend time, but if you have some time, let me know and we can sit down and we can try to figure that out. Because I'd like to bring what I'd like to do is I'd like to have a 3-camera setup where we have someone like Tear and then also Nora or possibly one of her brothers. So if you are hearing this, KT Data, keep that in mind. Hopefully we can try to figure something out and that would be pretty good. All right. What comes next? Anything else? Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Not really. I have to take
Are you
a
excited for your show?
Mhm.
Isn't it kind of neat that you actually have like a theme song and a little graphic that I made? It's an animated graphic.
It's animated?
I gotta see it again.
I haven't seen it moving.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Just watch. See? It's animated. The background is animated, not you. That's there you go.
Yeah.
So in any event,
also I don't wear cat ears and do that.
Well, no, you may have to do that for the show. So,
no, that's not. I don't pose like that.
You should. That's funny.
No,
okay.
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to edit this show down. So thanks so much for everybody for watching, and this. I think this is going to be a pretty cool show. This is exactly, by the way, I'm gonna switch over to just the shot of you. This shot is that's exactly what I thought the Tear Tells It All would look like. It'd be like crazy looking blue light and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty crazy looking, but that's what I thought it would look like. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
This is too much.
I'll have to come up with all kinds of graphics and stuff just, for you. So I think it'll be kind of fun. I'll do the same thing if like Crispy does it and Max and stuff like that. So, all right. You done? You want to go back downstairs? Okay, she's done. She's gonna go away. I'm gonna go back up here. Thank you so much, Tear. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. And thank you everybody for watching. Be sure you if you subscribe to the podcast, you'll have that tomorrow. And also just also subscribe to my Twitch channel, because I can, eventually what I'd like to do is figure out do like a subathon or something where I if I get enough subs, maybe I'll wear a hot dog costume. Maybe the other idea was trying to do like a smoke cam, which would be making ribs live on Twitch. So that'll be something that we may want to try. Until then, thank you so much. Okay, great. I'm glad you saw that. And yes, hopefully we'll be able to talk to each other, KT Data. Like I said, we can even go into next week if you want to, just because I don't want to, I don't want to get into your weekend. But in any event, the weekend is going to be officially starting soon. So thank you so much. I hope you guys all have a nice weekend. I'll be streaming again tomorrow at 1 p.m., possibly doing stuff for for Tom show, Daily Tech News Show. So hopefully you'll be able to watch that live. And let me see. I'm gonna go here. Hang on a second. Oh, there we go. There we go. Till then, we'll see you on the next episode, probably of Jawbone Radio next week, and on the stream tomorrow. So thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye.
Down to the download. Well, that Len guy there is pretty good, lesser Mora, but you know, I think that he'd be nothing without Nora. If I was at Podcast Alley, sitting on a picket fence, I would only have one decision.